Let me tell you how Smelly Guys got started. Well, first, when I was working my regular job, I would talk with this guy, Frank. Frank was doing a study on businesses and how did people become financially free. Why was only such a small number of people, financially wealthy, and the majority of people go and work and kind of get stuck where they're at. And he was talking to me, and at the time I was kind of going to college, and he said, Jacob, what are you going to college for? And I was like, oh, well, I want to do research. I want to help people out, I love solving problems. I like to put things together, connect, an idea here with an idea over here. And he said, it's going to take you a long time to go to college and accomplish this, right? And I said, yeah, I know, and I really don't even like going to college that much. Kind of hate school, but what else can I do? And he said, why don't you look into starting a business? I said, Frank, I don't know anything about business. Business isn't really going to help me to reach my goal and helping people in that respect. And he said, why wouldn't it? With research, you always need money to fund it. So even if I got there and became a doctor or whatever, that I would need money to research it. He said, but honestly, you can bypass that. You have enough money, you can hire your doctors, you can do all that. You can basically pay and have your research done. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Since it was going to take me like 12 to 16 years to reach this goal, I was like, I could spend that time working on creating a business, and I still had the problem that I didn't know anything about business. And he said, you can learn. You're self-taught on pretty much everything that you do. I love to read. I love to learn new stuff. And he said, go ahead and give it a chance. Give it a try. Me and Frank talked about every day for hours. He would tell me about businesses, different people. He gave me some reading material. He said, start with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. He said, look at some of Robert Kiyosaki's books. And that's a good place to start, to start getting some reading material. And anytime I started, coming out with stuff, and I would always bring it to him, and he would say, well, keep working on it, keep working on it. I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to accomplish this myself. I decided if I'm going to succeed, I'm going to need a team. So the first person who came to mind was Brian. I gave him a call and I said, Brian, I want to start a business. I can't do it without you. I need somebody to give me feedback, somebody that can help me produce a product to get it out there. I'm not really a front of a camera type of guy. I'm more of I work behind the crowd, behind the scenes. I'm good with that. I can piece things together, I can make it look good, but I'm not really somebody that usually, stands in front of everybody and talks. And I was like, I'm going to need your expertise. Brian, he's done sales. I haven't done sales. I've worked with people with mental illnesses, so I do know how to work with people from, different backgrounds and different situations and stuff, but business was kind of a little bit different than that. So he was definitely somebody I was going to need. So then me and Brian came to talk with Jeff. I told Jeff, I said, hey Jeff, me and Brian's going to start business together, and what do you think? You care to help us out? Because we're probably going to need your expertise. And Jeff, he's somewhat of he likes to keep to himself. He's definitely not big in front of the camera. He kind of looked at us, gave us a weird look, and he's like, well, I guess somebody's going to need to babysit you too. And, so he decided to join with us. So our first business crashed, but we needed that. We needed to create a business. Because we had no business experience, we decided, let's just hit it with everything we got, everything we know. And we learned a lot from failing. And we got to a point, and I told the guys, I said, I don't really see this succeeding on the way that we have things going right now. We're getting better and better every day, but I think we're going to have to let this go. And that's one of the roughest things, to build something that you worked months and months and months for. I'm talking probably 9 months to a year we worked on this project. Put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and we had to, in our first business, and we had to let it go. We had to realize it wasn't something that was really going to sell. So I kind of talked with Frank. Frank's like still working on his book and everything. He's like, hey, you know what? Don't stop. He said, just learn. Did you learn a lot? And I said, oh yeah, I'm ready to go again. Really, this time I want to do it smart. I want to take what I learned from the failures of my last business and make something of this next one. So I went around and we tested it. Well, I know I went around and I started writing down things that I seen something that I could start a business with. I had talked with Brian and Jeff, and they did the same thing. We actually started compiling our stuff, and we looked for things that we seen as possible products that we could actually produce, or goods and services. And we came up with our top like 3. We gave them a try, and we found that one in particular kind of stood out beyond the rest of them. And I really looked at it and was like, we could do this. So that's when we were like, let's test it out. Let's see if we can actually make this work. We put months and months again effort into producing our new product, which was hand sanitizer for men. I work in a hospital. Most of the hand sanitizer is actually, almost all of it that's scented is for females. It's like apple pie or sweet cherry or something or another. None of them was really for guys. And to me, I like things that smell good, but I like the bold smell. And I was like, so I started doing some research, looked into it, and we came up with a hand sanitizer that smelled like cologne. It was for men. We definitely didn't want to tame it. We wanted it to be out of control. We made it very smelly, and people liked it. And the name that's even how the name came along. We used to call it the Smelly Good Stuff, and we were like, hey, 3 guys making this product, let's call it Smelly Guys. So that's pretty much how Smelly Guys came along. Frank did eventually finish his book, which I have here. And I recommend that anybody who's actually interested in really doing a business, read this book. This book not only will kind of help your mindset change to how you can actually achieve financial freedom, but the book gives you motivation. He jam-packed it with quotes that will motivate you when you start feeling like you might not be able to make it. Just flip through a page. Every page has got a quote. Just pick a page, go with it. Fortune favors the brave. That's just from a random pick, and that's a good quote. It'll motivate you, and you'll need it. There'll be days that you're going to be like, I should just quit, but don't quit. Just keep trying. If one thing fails, try something else. Keep going, and if you're not moving fast enough, just keep failing as fast as you can. You'll eventually get there. It's kind of funny. I mean, one thing Frank had told me was, you can fail all year long, 5 years. Let's say you fail for 5 years, but you succeed one time. That's all you need to do. You can fail as many times as you want. You only have to succeed one time in business. Create one business that's not a failure, one business that succeeds, and you're set. You're financially free. That's where it starts, though. It starts with thinking about the possibility to achieve this. Now, I'll tell you, before Smelly Guys, even today, Smelly Guys is not an LLC. It will be, but before Smelly Guys ever became an LLC, it took us months to build this company, to come up with a plan. I mean, this time around, we actually wrote out a business plan. we came out with how we are going to achieve what we plan on achieving. And this time we covered just about every angle that I could possibly come up with. And we pulled together, and I talked with Frank a little bit. And I told Frank I would love to let people follow along in our journey. One thing is, I always had a hard time finding how to get our business going. I even talked with some business owners, and they helped out. Definitely talked with business owners, but to me, I never got to see it starting. I never got to, because they can't go back in time. So we decided we're going to let people follow along on our journey. They can actually watch us as we grow from a company that's a nobody to we will achieve a somebody. We're going to, step by step of the way, you will follow along with us as we build Smelly Guys to an actual successful company. I hope you enjoy following along with us. Thank you.